Only moments after waking up, the sleepyhead is filled with an immense sense of wonder and awe as the camera pans across the massive expanse of Hyrule. They encounter their first enemies and start to enjoy the freedom that they have, like being able to steal from the old man, climb on whatever they want, and go almost wherever they want. They might even get stuck in a shrine or two, not knowing what to do, and they might even think that the Great Plateau is the entire map. The sleepyhead runs into their first guardian, and is shocked when they are obliterated off the face of Hyrule by a stationary purple robot, learning to avoid the purple robots for a very long time, and learning about the weapon durability system and stamina, both of which are very frustrating for this new player. This stage is one of the best because of the sense of wonder that comes with a new discovery around almost every corner. The beginner is a stage that everyone remembers. They have just claimed the paraglider and are now faced with many different decisions. Do I go and try to kill Ganon? Do I just explore this massive map? Or do I listen to the old man and go to Impa? No matter what they choose, they usually end up in Kakariko Village, where they talk to Impa and start to learn more about the conflicts that plague Hyrule. They also get their first horse, a friendship that will last them most of their playthrough, and probably acquire their first pieces of armor. The beginner encounters different colored monsters and learns which ones to avoid. They don't have the best weapons, and their best armor is most likely the champion's tunic that Impa gave them after claiming their first memory, but they don't mind. The beginner has started to develop a love of the game, and has become hooked into Hyrule. The knight now has some pretty decent armor and weapons. They probably have freed at least 1 or 2 divine beasts, and are now much more powerful than they used to be, with the lives of many monsters under their belt, besides the Lionel, which for the knight is worse than an encounter with a guardian. Speaking of guardians, the knight has probably learned that they can parry its beams, and can now defeat them, even if it's inconsistent. The knight has some of their map unlocked, and truly starts to realize just how massive Hyrule is, even having purchased some of their own real estate. They might have visited the Korok Forest and tried to pull the Master Sword, wondering why they can't even though they have 8 hearts. The knight tries to make more progress on Divine Beasts, but is hindered with their lack of hearts, so they decide that they need to become more powerful. Realizing their necessity for more hearts and to become more powerful, the knight has started the grind phase of the game, where they try to complete as many shrines as they can find, collect as many resources as possible so that they can upgrade their armor, and unlock as much of the map as possible, likely only missing 1 or no Sheikah Towers at all. If they're brave, they might even venture into Hyrule Castle to acquire the Hylian Shield to make combat more easy. They might even try their hand at defeating the fearsome Lionel once more, and probably succeed. At this stage, the player will make the most amount of story progress yet. They unlock the Akala Tech Lab and get the Guardian armor. They also see a massive maze and probably get all 3 pieces of Barbarian armor. They finally get enough hearts and pull the Master Sword, which is another core memory of everyone who's played Breath of the Wild. They have finally gained sufficient strength to continue the main storyline, and what used to be challenging is now very easy. The knight has now freed all Divine Beasts and will now move on to Ganon.